Number 34. Kyle went to the post office and spent $23.73 on 55 stamps. He bought 27-cent stamps for the postcards, 42-cent stamps for the letters addressed to friends in the United States, and 94-cent stamps for each letter to England. Kyle bought 3 times as many postcard stamps as those for the letters to England. How many postcard stamps did Kyle buy? Hint, use matrices. Okay, so we're not going to do that. On the actual test, I just want you to set up the system of equations in standard form. That's it. Okay, so we don't actually have to figure out how many postcards he bought. So we're going to have 3 variables, one for the postcards, one for the stamps for the U.S. stamps, and one for the England stamps. Okay, so we need to define our variables. The number of postcard stamps, the number of USA stamps, and the number of England stamps. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and make this as simple as possible. X, Y, Z. You can use whatever letters you want to, and you won't be penalized. But now we're going to need 3 equations to represent the situation that we have here, the system that we have here. Okay, so we have a total cost, we have a total amount of stamps, and then we have this kind of oddball equation where Kyle bought 3 times as many postcard stamps as those for the letters to England. Let's start with the total number of stamps because that's the easiest. If you add the number of postcard stamps to the number of the USA stamps to the number of England stamps, that will equal 55. So that's just going to be X plus Y plus Z equals 55. Easy enough. Now the total cost is going to be, what if we take the number of postcards times the cost of the postcards and add them to the total number of USA stamps multiplied by the cost of the USA stamps, et cetera, et cetera. So the cost of the postcards is 27 cents. Okay, don't put just 27, it's 27 cents, so it's a decimal. 27 cents times X is the amount of money that was spent on postcard stamps. Then we're going to add that to the amount of money spent on US stamps, which would be 0.42 times the number of those, which is Y. And then we're going to put the cost of the England stamps, which is 94 cents, times the number of stamps he bought, which is Z. And that's going to equal the total amount of money he spent on stamps, 23.73. And then we get to this weird oddball one, which can be a little bit confusing. I'm going to put it here in red because I want this in standard form, and whenever I construct this equation, it's not going to be in standard form. 3 times as many postcard stamps as those for the letter to England. So you got to ask yourself, which does he have more of? He has more postcard stamps. So I'm going to say that P is equal to the number, I said P, sorry. That's going to be X. X, because that's the postcard stamps, is going to be 3 times as many as the stamps from England, which is Z. So if you take the number of stamps from England and multiply it by 3, that's how many postcard stamps he got. So this looks very different from these other equations. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put this in standard form by putting everything on the same side, all the variables on the same side. So we have the X, that would be 1X. We're going to subtract the 3Z, but we also need to know how many Y's we have. And in this equation, there are no Y's. So it'd say plus 0Y minus 3Z. And if we subtract the 3Z from this side, we're not going to have anything left on the right side of the equal sign, so it'll just be 0. So that would be our equation. 1X plus 0Y minus 3Z equals 0. And this is the system of equations that we could use to figure out X, Y, and Z if we really wanted to, but I'm not going to make you guys do that. You just have to set it up. So that will be the answer to number 34.